This morning, we welcome California Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber. Dr. Weber, always good to see you. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Well, thank you for the invitation. It was a very exciting night last night with a lot of folks voting, so we were very pleased about that.
Yeah. Explain for people, though, who still have a question about the tally and how long it takes to get the final results. Tell us more about that process.
Sure. Well, first of all, we have to get all the ballots in. Keep in mind, we have vote by mail ballots. So as a result, we have the legislature gives us up to 7 days if it's postmarked by yesterday to basically get those ballots in. So we'll have ballots coming into our office from the various post offices around the state. And so that takes time. It also, we have to, when we get a ballot by mail, we have to basically verify every signature that's on there. We have to make sure it's signed. Those kinds of things take time. Sometimes it's very fast, but oftentimes people's signatures change, things change, and so the whole process of making sure that people are who they say they are is validated. Then we have to do a 1% count. In other words, we're required to do a hand count of 1% of all ballots sent in. So that is a verification count to make sure that we are that we basically have done a good job in making that all of the ballots getting counted that's there. The state also requires us to wait 30 days before we actually announce who won. People don't realize that we have some limitations placed on us by the legislature, that even after people say we want it faster, then in addition to that, it says in 30 days, we can announce it. So that talks about December the 12th. Mm-hmm. Now, many of you will know who won what and what happened with the election because of the margin between the yes and the no votes, as well as the number of ballots that are yet to be counted. So you can kind of figure that out yourself in terms of what remains. But there's a process that's put in place by the legislature that puts some restrictions on us as to how we can count, when we can count, who we can count, and all of those things to make sure that it's done fair. And everyone then says the same thing at the end, but we want all ballots counted.
And Dr. Weber, that's what I was going to ask you. So even like this morning, you know, we hear the numbers about the one proposition that was on the ballot statewide, Prop 50, and people hear those numbers and they hear that it was, you know, overwhelmingly passed. How is that determined when there is still this process of certifying the election results?
Well, if you notice, we didn't say it was overwhelmingly passed. You said it was overwhelmingly passed. The news says it's overwhelmingly passed. People who look at all the numbers and the figures and can say, okay, based on what they've seen come in, what's left to come in, that you can say with some certainty they can that initiative passed. But you can't say that really until you've actually counted every ballot. And that's why we don't make predictions. We just tell you what the numbers are. Mm-hmm. And then others can make predictions and move forward. And generally they're correct. I mean, when you have a margin that's 30-40% margin, you know, given the number of folks who voted and what remains to be voted and the ballots that will be coming in, will it make up that level of margin? Based on most numbers, it won't. But we never say that it won't because it just might. You never know. And so as a result, we don't say anything until we've actually counted them all and certified and done our 1% count and the whole bit. Then we'll tell you who actually won. But you know, you tell the folks who's won, and people look and they're smart enough to figure out the margins and decide who won and who's lost. And those who were the no votes have already said that the yes votes won. So, you know, it's that kind of thing. But people want us to say it, and we don't say it until all votes are in, so that you can count on the fact that when we certify an election, it is certified.
All right, Dr. Weber, always good to talk to you and give us that clarity. And we will, of course, be checking in with your office for those certification numbers probably next month in December after that 30 days. Thanks so much.
Well, numbers also on our website. And so we update those every day. So you'll see the numbers on the website and people figure it out based on that.
Okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.